get started without any investment and create end-to-end a remote production all in the cloud with anyone co-located anywhere in the world. TVU Networks is going on 16, 17 years of existence right now. And when TVU started out with our pack and was first focused on cellular aggregation. But since in the last 2 years, we've really pushed hard to revolutionize the way that we're pursuing cloud technologies. We've taken all of our fundamental tech and we have made it into minimum viable functionality and microservices, all containerized in omni-cloud environments. And we're really seeing what we think is a next generation step forward in what it means to create, produce, and distribute content in the cloud. And we're really excited to show that with everyone today. So TVU has a breadth of products across both acquisition, distribution, and production tools, content, connect, create, and deliver. We have an ever-growing suite of microservices that our goal is to put them together in a solution that helps our customers solve problems, do business model experimentation, and move their operations into the next generation of cloud production, being able to do things that we never thought possible from anywhere in the world. What you see here is just a brief overview of our media supply chain and the way that we look at all the products that we put together. Acquisition is number one for us. And one of the things about TVU that I think differentiates us is everything we do is about being as open and transparent as we possibly can be. Every video signal that we can take in, anything that's available that's open source, all those video inputs are things that we are constantly pushing to make sure that we support every possible input source that you could utilize, that we're utilizing data, machine learning to be able to automate, index, and add information via context, that we're using next generation cloud production tools to be able to create novel production environments with different interfaces that are sophisticated and created just for the operational use that you need, and then distributing that all over the same output formats that we support as inputs anywhere in the world. So of the components that we're going to be showing you today in remote production, the first one is a TVU Producer. TVU Producer is our cloud-based production tool set. TVU Partyline, which is what we believe is the most advanced cloud collaboration or remote presence system that exists in the world. TVU Anywhere, which is our ability to take any Android or iOS device or even on Mac and Windows and utilize that technology to get the highest level quality back from those machines to be able to use them in broadcast environments. TVU Remote Production System is our 6-input 1RU encoder that automatically time aligns and makes frame accurate all of the input sources and allows you to distribute those input sources both to our cloud production tool set like TVU Producer or out to a RPS decoder, and you can take that into any hybrid or baseband or 2110 environment that you have that currently exists. It is a very, very powerful 1RU box that allows you at any location to bring in all your camera feeds, synchronize them, be able to have camera control over direct VPN, and be able to bring even return video feeds back as well. TVU One, which is TVU's aggregated cellular product, which allows for wireless remote production from anywhere, and our TVU Remote Commentator, which allows us to take any remote commentator from anywhere in the world and to give them a specific micro application that allows them to commentate very easily without having to have a bunch of engineering set up, without having to have a bunch of professional rigs, even from home. And we're doing hundreds of hours or thousands of hours this year of remote commentary. But the thing that we believe really sets TVU apart is we start every project, we start every engagement with how can we solve a customer's problem? How can we utilize the tool sets, the microservices, the capabilities that we've been building to do something in the market that helps our customers move their business forward? For TVU Producer, we started with a concept that talent is the new operator, right? From the time that COVID hit, the customers that we were talking to were really in need of something that would allow them to, from a single operator at home, be able to take in all their sources, add graphics, add branding, monetize that through Scuddy, and send that out to all their syndication elements. And we really believe it's been highly successful with one of the most easy to use interfaces where a single person can run an entire production, or you can do what we're doing today and distribute that production completely all over the world and produce from anywhere with anyone. TVU Partyline is our cloud communications tool set, and we believe it is best of breed and provides broadcast grade communication. So instead of like a Zoom or a Teams or the commodity tool sets that we've all used during COVID, this was created for broadcast, for broadcast quality, for the ability to handle pretty much unlimited amounts of audience or people joining, be able to handle video and audio, much like a non-blocking people router in the cloud. It works on any device, whether you're joining through the native browser on your cell phone, or whether you're joining through TVU Anywhere app on Mac or Windows, or taking in even things like our packs or other inputs into that environment. And we'll show you that workflow today. With TVU Anywhere, the customer problem was, any device can be a production device. If we look at what's happened with breaking news or some of the greatest stories and captures, those things haven't happened from large scale cameras that news organizations or sports organizations have brought out. They've happened from the camera that's in everyone's hand. And so by being able to take that camera and upgrade that to the highest level of quality, utilize cellular and Wi-Fi to basically treat that device like a mini pack, we believe that we're opening up next generation workflows, and the things that you can do with commodity camera devices are astronomical at this point in time. So TVU RPS, again, that time-aligned sources and allows for you to have both hybrid and cloud workflows. TVU One allows us to connect and have the best quality in the most difficult environments. And TVU Remote Commentator, it's a click and commentate element that allows the production team to have complete orchestration and be able to handle multi-language production environments with a single operator, all able to give guidance and communicate through the platform and microservices like TVU Partyline and Producer. So 2021 was a breakthrough year for TVU. We're really grateful for the opportunity to serve our customers and some of the biggest events that have happened in the world. And we're looking forward into 2022 to even taking that further. And we believe that the lessons that we've all learned through COVID about the benefit the cloud provides us when we're all in lockdown have created a revolution of next generation business models that customers are pursuing now, where they're able to do additional digital content. They're able to bring in commentators from anywhere and do more games than they ever could. So by providing and utilizing the cloud for what it's for, instead of just trying to replicate old broadcast workflows and virtualize them in the cloud, by being cloud native, we've really been able to create a suite of tools where our customers can come to us and saying, we're trying to push the boundary here. We're trying to do something different in this way. And we stand ready to make those challenges happen, to solve our customers' needs, and to really lead into the future of what it means to use the cloud and to create community-based productions all around the world. So TVU has grown to the ability to have input and output and cloud services that really allow us to connect it all together, no matter what kind of input sources that you're using, whether that's RTMP, SRT, NDI, or baseband. You can bring that into our cloud environment. We can utilize our intelligence layer of MediaMind to provide AI and machine learning calculations like object detection, transcription, facial detection. And all of these environments can scale with you as you scale your production. You can start with just one use of Partyline, and everything that you see here, whether it's Partyline, Producer, MediaMind, or TVU Transceiver, all have value standalone. But really, when you connect them all together and you can provide this next generation, very little hardware needed, all in the cloud environment, it allows us to rethink what it means to do cloud production. It also allows us to rethink the cost base by which we used to make financial decisions in our business about how we could do productions and the kinds of productions we can do. We believe that we're really commoditizing what it means to be able to do production in the cloud and allowing that to be done at a very, very low cost point. That's a fraction of what it used to cost us when we were assembling all of this hardware and bringing that to site. And that's opened up brand new kinds of workflows that we'll show you today. So for today's demo, there's myself, Jared Timmons. I'll be TDing the demonstration today. We have Curtis Stanley. He'll be running graphics. Jaime Perez is our audio operator. Oriol will be doing clip playback. And Sabad is our talent for today's demonstration. So with that, I'm going to go, one more thing. What you'll see here in the way that we've set up this whole demo is each individual has their specific function in the demo. So if you're doing audio or graphics, and we said talent is the new operator, and the way that we created our technology is it is so easy for just one person to use. But as productions become more complicated and become more distributed, we've created this concept we call micro applications that allows us to break off a specific usage environment, like an audio mixer or like a clip player or like a graphics control environment, and assign that to a specific collaborator in the production that allows us to be able to have full control, have very high level of complexity, and use Partyline to make sure that we're all in constant communication and that I can see exactly what's happening with my entire production. So with that, I'm going to jump into Partyline. You can see I've got a couple of tabs open here. I've spun up a Partyline, and in the Partyline, you can see I have myself, and I'm doing the TD, and I have my screen share, so you can see everything that is happening on my command center for Partyline. We have Jaime in Mexico City, and you can see his screen share that has the audio board that he's spun up that he'll be controlling for this demonstration. Oriol is doing the clip player. He is out of Spain, and Curtis in Florida is handling graphics for us. And then Sabad is our talent out in India. So we've brought a team together. We've brought everyone into Partyline. That was as easy as going up here to this remote production demo icon, hitting invite, and creating a link that I can share with anyone. I can do a couple of different security measures as well. I can let anyone with a link join. Only users that are added to a whitelist or an email whitelist that I've created can join, or I can create a password and anyone with the passcode can join. So again, from Partyline, you can join with any device. That device can be your cell phone. That device can be a pack connected to the highest level broadcast camera. So whether it's a phone in your hand or it's the highest level broadcast workflow, Partyline supports all of them. And it gives me the ability as the host of this Partyline to be able to even tag. You can see where I've tagged Jaime as audio. So I can go into any of my contributors and I can select if I want to edit their tag name. And that tag name is not seen by anyone else who's in the production. It's only seen by the host. So if I had talent coming in and they were in segment 1 or segment 2, I can put all of that information right there at the UMD of my attendees, and I have the ability to really easily organize my production. Inside of Partyline, you can see I have some live indicators as I've routed myself into our production environment. But I'm going to go through just the way that we've done what we call the universal PIP structure of Partyline, just so everyone understands kind of the concept of what Partyline was created to do. I, as the host, have the ability to mute myself, to mute any of the other attendees. I can turn off their camera. I can request that their camera be turned back on with a simple button click if they've turned it off. And I can also assign roles. So in this environment, I'll make myself production crew. I get a confirmation that this will allow me to have private communications. And so Sabad, as the talent, even though he is on air and we see that he's live, I'm able to go here and have a private chat with Sabad. You can see the color of our names and UMDs change to show tally that we are in a private conversation. No one else in this conversation or none of my audio is going out into the production demo. So I can count people in and out. I can give directorial guidance. I can tell someone to move over into the center of the frame. I have the ability to have private communications with anyone that's in the party to give them those kinds of instructions without contaminating the broadcast feed. I'll hang up from that. And now we're back into our collaborative environment where the whole team can talk about what we're doing in the production, and we're able to synchronize our efforts. I also have the ability to share multiple screen shares, which you see everyone's screen share here. So I'm also using Partyline as like a production multi-viewer as well to see all the screens of all of my team, exactly what activities they're doing while we're in communication together. And so this version of Partyline that we have supports up to 30 attendees and each or up to 15 attendees and 15 simultaneous screen shares. And each PIP gives us the ability to take that and route that individual directly out into both our cloud production. You can see all of the open inputs I have for producer, as well as any TVU transceiver or cloud receiver that you have paired with your account. So I can send this out and stream this into another cloud platform. I can send this out and come out SDI or 2110 and use this in a hybrid or on-prem environment, or I can do this like we're doing it today, globally distributed, all in the cloud. I can also route my screen shares as well. So any environment, whether it be a TVU pack, which I can easily select the packs I want to bring in and bring in a TVU pack into Partyline, a screen share, or individuals joining from pretty much any device with any camera type. I have the ability now to use them in a myriad of different ways. We can use that for production communication. We can use that for moving talent in and out of productions that we're doing. And we could even use that for audience. So this same platform has been used for the Grammys, the Critics' Choice Awards, the NBA draft, the NFL draft, because we believe it allows a whole nother level of flexibility than what you'll get in commodity communication tools. It was built for broadcast. It was built for scale. And we have multiple modes of Partyline that we're not going to get in today. But whether you need thousands of people in an audience that you're sending a mosaic back to the big board of a stadium, or to your production truck, or to any other syndication source, or whether you need a communication tool set where you can be able to do conferences with people being able to raise their hand to be able to move those people in and out of conversations. We have that level of flexibility that we can apply to many different kinds of utilization cases. And I'm also able in Partyline to bring back my video return. So this is the video return from Producer, which we'll show you here shortly, coming right back in. Everyone that joins can see this. And my interface, which you're all seeing right now, is meant for control. It's meant for being able to move people around, move people in and out of rooms. So I could come over here to Sabad and I could say move to, and any of the rooms that I have are modes that I have, whether it's a Partyline, a gallery view, which is the ability to do, hundreds or thousands of people in audience that you can share their combined image or individual image with any output point. Conference, which is really based on being able to do press conferences, and kiosk, which actually allows you to brand the background of your conference and have logos and bugs and things like that you can add to it. But I can move Sabad into any of these environments. I'm not going to do that for the sake of the demo today, but you have complete portability in your ability to have people come into a green room, prepare them for their live event, move them to a live room, take them live. And you never have to worry about things like Zoom bombing, because I have to make a broadcast decision to send someone live. If I was going to send Curtis into this environment, I would select a slot and I would have to take that route to be able to move him in. So there's never a chance that you're going to have someone get the link and be on air because you're using a screen converter or a capture device in a commodity conferencing tool set that wasn't really built to satisfy the needs of next generation broadcast. But one of the things I will show you is I'm going to go full screen on Sabad's view, and you can see that Sabad, coming in as talent, has a completely different view of Partyline than I do. He can see the return video feed coming back. He can see everyone's screen share and all the commentators, but he doesn't have the control. It presents itself very much like a Zoom or like a Teams or like a Skype call. So talent very easily will be acclimated to these environments because it presents with something very familiar that they've used before. So with that, I'm going to go over to TVU Producer. So TVU Producer is our 9 live input cloud switching and distribution environment that also allows us to do graphics. It also allows us to monetize your production through what we believe is the most robust SCUDdy service that exists in the marketplace. And it allows you to do that in a myriad of different ways. So right now I have my environment pulled up. You can see where I am routed into this production along with Sabad. And then I have a multitude of different kinds of feeds that I can take in. But just to give you an idea of the kinds of feeds that we can support as inputs into our environment, I'm going to remove this feed right here. I'm going to change the source. And I can take in external IP feeds, and I can take in almost anything that's available in the marketplace. HTTP, RTMP, RTP plus FEC, ISP. ISSP is our proprietary format, RTSP, MMS, HLS, UDP, FTP, RTP, SRT, caller and listener, and Zixi. We also can manually bring in any TVU Anywhere device via this QR code that you can share. So if you don't want to use Partyline and you just want to bring in a source from any TVU Anywhere device, very easy to do that. All of the packs that are associated with your account can also be brought in as input sources in TVU Producer, as well as any of the grid feeds that you subscribe to, RTMP push feeds, any HTML. And then I also have the ability through Partyline to be able or through Producer to be able to pull people from Partyline into the environment if I want to use one operator without having to go back and forth between Partyline. So very, very flexible, both the formats and the types of signals that you can bring into these inputs. We also have a clip player that we're utilizing to be able to bring in multiple different kinds of clips. And we'll go through that when we talk about the specializations of each contributor on this call. And then we have 3 custom views. And so the custom views are all spun up serverless in the cloud. And so we're able very, very quickly to create multi-box environments. You can have pretty much an unlimited version of these. You can create multiple saved versions that I can select between and move between depending on what I need. And I have the ability to transition between all of these. We support multiple different kinds of transitions as well as graphics on and off. And everything that you see here is able to be controlled with your keyboard with keyboard shortcuts, or with MIDI over USB for audio control, or even things like Stream Deck, which we have a profile available for Stream Deck. So you can utilize tactical tools, you can utilize a mouse and keyboard, you can utilize faders with MIDI devices inside of this environment. So it really can be as simple as you need it to be to get on air and do a production with only cell phones, or as complicated as you want it to be, where you can do it throughout the entire world in communication with your production team, everyone having a specific role that they are moving forward with. I also have the ability to have multiple different output formats that I can set up to 6 simultaneous outputs. So I could be sending this to Facebook, I could be sending this to YouTube, I could be sending this to my CDN, I could be sending this to Grid for distribution, all at the same time. Each separate output encode can have its own bit rate, its own resolution, and its own syndication point that you want to send it to. And I'll go here and just show you again how flexible that is. Any social media feed you really want to import, Grid, Pro Impact, our ISSP streams, SRT again, and HLS. So pretty much any streaming format that you want to be able to output or input into this system, we make sure to support it so that it can be very flexible and just work for your needs. We also are ISO recording every input that we bring into this environment, and you can configure that in the workbench component of Producer. You can see here I have several games several shows that I've got scheduled and built, and I can recall them very easily. I can share, you can see this little share icon here, with any of my other teammates who are part of the production. So you can see I've shared this with the group that's in here today utilizing this production. And it's very easy to create a new program, enable the features, select the resolution you want to go to air with, how many audio channels, if you want this connected with Partyline, if you want this connected with RPS. So we talked about RPS a little bit earlier, but that's our 1RU 6 input encoder that time aligns all the sources, and you can natively have that RPS connect into Producer and bring in those 6 sources all time aligned. You can set this up for vertical video if you're making a vertical video production. You can select to record the inputs. We have a rudimentary clips only replay environment that you can utilize. You can select output buffers. And you can even select the region of AWS that you want to spend your production up in. And you can see I'm streaming on 2 right now simultaneously. When I exited this environment, it didn't do anything to the production because the production is operating in the cloud. So whether I lost internet or closed my browser has no impact at all on what's actually happening in the production in itself. And you'll see that this will just reconstitute the HTML page and spin it up, and nothing has changed. My output has all continued. So it's really, really flexible to have redundancy from anywhere. If I were to need to hand over control of this, Curtis or any of the team that I've engaged and given the rights to can immediately take over. So it's really, really collaborative. Our system has a lot of sophistication where we know exactly the frame of video that's on each operator's screen, which allows us to time align the production. And with Partyline's low latency of communication of around 250 milliseconds, it really is a natural organic feel when you're communicating with people all around the world and making a production. So as we're ISO recording all of those inputs, I have the ability to create markers. So I can create a mark in and a mark out, and that information will be available on all of the recordings. So as I bring that in as an EDL, I know that here was a score, here was a touchdown, here was a big element I want to clip out from an interview that I needed to do. So it's very easy to tag with metadata those recordings so you can easily find what you're looking for. And now we're going to move to overlay. So again, in the spirit, and I'll go here to native, but in the spirit of talent is the new operator, the way that we've created this sidebar is if it's just one person that's doing the production, I have the ability to just select simple logos and pretty much bring in any kind of web-based logo and size that. I can have as many of these as I want. I can bring these in, I can size them, move them around, take them on and off. I can even open up our HTML rendering service and our connection with Singular and control that myself. But I can also expand that out with sharing this link in Singular with other people on the team. And so what we've done for this demo is I have, I'll go back to Partyline. I have Curtis here, and Curtis is also in the production as well. And he has spun up, this is Curtis's screen share. I'm going to take it full screen for you. He has spun up the producer as well at his location in Florida. And he's able to take multiple different kinds of graphics from our HTML partnership with Singular and be able to layer those, put multiple on. You can even edit it. It's the full Singular editing environment done, and including preview done in an iframe that you can just nest that away when you want it, or you can bring it back out, or one person can focus on this on the Singular web page themselves, or they can be in the environment doing it here. And so you can see where he's bringing in multiple different kinds of bugs that can have dynamic data that you're bringing back into it for scoreboards, for tickers. It's very, very full featured in what you can do from the branding aspect of these channels. So from there, I'm gonna go back out and take us back into Producer, and I'm gonna show you our audio mixer. So again, I can select something as simple as I'm doing this on my own and I just want audio to follow video. Or if I need a little bit more of an advancement, I'm still doing this on my own, I don't need to break away into anything else. I can have a static mix by just selecting the audio channels that I want to utilize. Or you can see down here below at the bottom, I have an advanced audio mixer that I can click on this link, or I can copy this link and share it with someone else who has access, and they will be able to control all of the audio elements. So if I come back to Producer and I go to our audio operator, Jaime, and go to his screen share, you can see he's got all the video previews, the ability to control all the output pair channels. He can move and rearrange. He can change audio levels. He can rename all of those environments. So it gives him, even though he's in Mexico and I'm in Georgia, the ability to work with me in tandem with the production, see everything that's happening with all the inputs, be able to listen to all of that, and make the audio decisions. And you can see if I had a audio over MIDI device, I could select this icon right here, and I would be able to connect that MIDI device directly into this environment and use a hardware controller. So again, very, very easy to start with audio follow video and then move up to very, very advanced audio workflows in this environment. Moving along, we also support voice over IP back to our packs. That's one way of doing it. We think that Partyline, which also enables you to talk back to either talent or the camera operator who has a TVU pack, is a better way of doing this, but we still support direct VoIP channels in this environment too. We have two ways that you can do live closed captioning inside of TVU Producer. One is with our AI-based TVU transcriber, which we believe is one of the best trained AI transcription services out there, with a very, very, very high 90s, 99% validity rating. And it also has the ability to do multiple languages or even mixed languages environments. And so we support, I think, about 100 languages now, or maybe even more, that we can utilize in TVU Transcriber. And it's just as easy as saying, I want to go with transcriber. If you connect that, it will start transcribing all of the closed captioning on the output. It's sophisticated enough to know if the signals you're bringing in have closed captioning already on them. And if they do, it will not closed caption them. It will just pass that captioning through. If you want manual or human-based closed captioning, you can use our integration with EEG, any Falcon entry point. So we'll send an audio stream for a operator to hear that closed captioning, caption that, and then we will always embed that caption either in our AI-based environment or in a manual environment to the frame of when those words were said. One of the things that we really think separates what we're doing in the cloud from a lot of the others out there is the way that we handle SCUDdy. So we have a robust and advanced SCUDdy library where you can create multiple different kinds of SCUDdy events, multiple different kinds of time signals, whether that's a program start or whether that's a break start, and I can fire that break start right off, and you can see there it is. And then when I'm done with that, I can easily go into a break end and in that environment. So you can do time signals, you can do splice inserts, you have the ability to place SCUDDIes directly into the frame where you need them. So while you're utilizing this tool set for production, you can monetize this out to all of your syndication, all 6 of those outputs with SCUDDY at the same time. We have an engineering monitor component of this environment that allows engineering to be able to see the health of every one of the, I'll spin this up real quick and show it to you. It allows engineering to see the health, the video bit rate, audio bit rate, the frames per second. You can view program. You can see all of the diagnostic logs of what collaborators or individuals did. I can go back to any time I've used this in the past. I have this log always available for troubleshooting or for looking back at various different things. My channel outputs, and if I'm on if I have an output schedule that supports SCUDdy, all of my SCUDdy environments will be present here as well. And then finally, we have our ability to do our clip player. And so if I go to local video here, you can see I have a list of clips, and I can bring those clips in locally from my machine. I can bring those clips in. I can bring those clips in from an S3 bucket that we provide for storage inside of Producer, or you can actually bring your own S3 bucket and have your clips available here. And I have the ability to set up playlists. I can set up the how we if we autoplay the next one, if we cut to preview to program, you can do mark in and mark out points in any of the clips to make sure you play from those edited environments. And then I even have the ability to break this off as its own local video player. And so for this environment, we have Oriol, who's running our clip player. And you can see if I go here and take this full screen in Partyline, he has the ability to see all of those clips. He can queue up those clips. He can create clips. He can be adding more clips. We can be bringing clips back from our recordings that are growing files. So it really gives you an advanced way to be able to control, communicate, and specialize the operations. And we think Producer allows for very, very interesting utilization cases when it comes to one operator, or when it comes to up to 6 operators simultaneously in the system. And then because of Partyline, we're all able to communicate in real time from anywhere in the world. Also, I have, let me see if I can move this out of the way here. Yeah. I have a remote commentator spun up. And so what remote commentator allows us to do is it allows us to use the same microservices that we're using for Producer and the same microservices that we're using for Partyline, but to combine them into a micro application that's specifically built to solve the needs and the problems of organizations who have to bring in remote commentators from anywhere, and they need to be able to manage them. So I've created just a demo event. You can have multiple events going in this orchestration for remote commentator, where I could have, my primary feed, multiple backup feeds, multiple games that I could utilize from here. I can open up the producer session that those games are being, or that those programs are being created in. I can open up the audio mixer for those environments and control that as the host, or I can open up my co-ord room and see if I open up my co-ord room here, I have feedback from my producer show. So I'm able to see the output as well as all the commentators. And then I can add people into up to 8 language groups. So I can create an English group, a Spanish group, a French group, a German group, et cetera, et cetera. And then I have the ability as the host of this remote commentator session to be able to talk to just a specific group of English commentators to give them some direction, or to be able to talk to the entirety of all of the languages if I'm giving general direction to all groups here. And so we use the same tool set that we're using in Partyline to be able to accomplish that, which really allows you to orchestrate large amounts of language distribution for remote commentation, bring people in with an ease of a link, and then have that open up to the commentator with really just a simple window that is the video that they are commentating on, their ability to mute themselves or hear themselves come back through their own headphones if that's what they like, and then the ability to have communications with the production team in the middle of that commentating environment. And so we believe that combining all of this tool set together with Partyline and the ability to bring everyone together, whether that's talent, whether that's audience, or whether that's production communications, see exactly what's happening on every screen with every operator directly from the comfort of my home, and be able to then add those people to multiple different productions, move those people to different environments, and then with the power of Producer, be able to bring in almost any input format, create a production that's so easy. One person could do it with advanced graphics, with audio control, with captioning, with SCUDdy insertion out to 6 input or 6 outputs, or I can expand that with the team that we have now of multiple people, all geographically distributed, all communicating together in the same environment, creating a remote production that allows me to utilize talent from anywhere in the world to put those productions together and to really do novel things. And all of that is created with this concept of what the person is operating is the UI that they see. And that really reduces the amount of operational specialization that you used to have to do these kinds of productions, because we've made this very intuitive to new operators that aren't maybe accustomed to traditional broadcast workflows, or operators with less of a skill set. So the ability to, again, bring both the operational cost of a production as well as the engineering cost of a production down to achieve your goals, that's what we created this tool set for. And we've done it in a way where you only pay for the time that you're using. So there isn't any waste. There isn't any investment that you put into the product that you don't get out. If you need it for an hour, you can use it for an hour. If you need it 24/7, you can use it 24/7. We are trying to be the most flexible set of broadcast tools in the marketplace for you to be able to take what you need, build new interfaces, and work in a different way where we are continuing to solve your problems today and into the future. So really excited about the opportunity to show you how all of this works. Everything in the TVU environment is all natively connected together, with the ability to even take these outputs of Producer and send them as a live breaking news input directly into our TVU channel playout product. And you can see that in a demo and a webinar that we did about 2 weeks ago that's available on our YouTube page.